Hey, what's shaking, everyone? So, I'm going to cut with the intro and we're just going to dive right in. With the 2020 NFL season set to kick off tonight, players have their most prominent platform to promote social justice initiatives. Yay! NFL Network's Tom Pelissero reported Thursday morning that Kansas City Chiefs and Houston Texans players have been in talks about a joint demonstration before tonight's game that makes a statement on racial justice and shows unity per sources informed the plans. One possibility discussed per Pelissero is both teams staying in the locker room during the national anthem. What the fuck? You know, the NFL can't even rip off an original idea. Did you know that the WNBA still existed? And they also did this as well. And it pissed off their fan so bad that they ended up closing up the season early, I think. Regardless, it's the fucking WNBA, and this was all for one joke. But anyways, you think of the average sports fan I described in my Colin Kaepernick rant. The average sports fan doesn't give a shit about these social justice causes. The person who's going to be in the stands, and there are going to be fans in the stands tonight at Arrowhead Stadium, between 10 to 15%, I heard, for capacity. They aren't going to be pleased with this. They are spending good money to sit in the stands and cheer for a bunch of millionaires who support an ideology that hates them. These are people who are season ticket holders. These are people who are looking for an escape that sports used to be. And as good of initial ratings that this game is going to have, look for the mythical NBA 40% tumble if it is to continue. But the rest of this article, we'll just get back into it. So this season, the NFL has encouraged its players to use their voices, and the league has extensive social justice messaging planned for week 1 and throughout the season, exactly like the NBA. Plans for tonight's kickoff remain fluid, with team leaders from both clubs, including Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Kenny Stills, and Eric Thomas, deciding their course of action before the first game of the year. And Chief Pussy Roger Goodell said in a recent conversation with former player Emmanuel Acko, I love the NFL. Loved, I should say, past tense. I don't remember this guy. He didn't make a significant impact on my watching patterns. In a YouTube series entitled Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man, I'm sure it's a wonderful podcast, that he would support the players' protests. Oh, terrific. Yes, I will support them. We have never disciplined a single player for anything with the national anthem and in violation, and I don't intend to, Goodell said, and I will support them. Expect a plethora of peaceful protests during the national anthem as week 1 kicks off. It's the NFL players' biggest stage to send their message. That first message comes tonight. And it's gonna come and land with a fucking thud, guys. I don't know. I do know. The NBA already set the standard. There is going to be a huge backlash for the reasons I already stated. The average sports fan doesn't like this stuff, doesn't care to be preached to, and is going to turn out in droves, and it's delicious. I love the fact that I get to cover a get woke, go broke story in real time. But finally, we go over to writers here. And not only are they bending the knee for, Black Lives Matter and social justice protests, they're still carrying on like COVID is going to be the be-all, end-all of civilization. Let's just quickly gloss over this Reuters article. National Football League gets its turn to tackle COVID-19 and player protests when the 2020 season kicks off on Thursday, with 3 clubs in flashy new homes. Tom Brady calling plays for a new team, and Washington searching for a new name. Yeah. Well, North America's pro sports leagues have blazed the trail into the ground, finding ways to operate without spectators in a global pandemic. The NFL sets its own course, beginning with the Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Houston Texans with a limited number of fans allowed at Arrowhead Stadium, which are going to jeer and walk out. Mark my fucking words. The NFL has rolled out strict health and safety protocols that include requiring all coaches and staff in the bench area to wear masks, and has recommended players on the sidelines to do the same. If you're already being tested, what the fuck is the point of the mask other than to virtue signal? Oh, wait. Solved my own question. But the league has left it up to the 32 teams and local officials to decide if it is safe to allow spectators into their stadiums, with coronavirus outbreaks flaring in much of the country and nobody dying. The lack of uniform policy has sparked complaints from coaches of competitive advantage for clubs with fans in the stands. Well, talk to your owners and fucking rectify that situation, you assholes. We do not believe it's a competitive advantage, said ass-kisser Goodell. During a preseason conference call, we obviously have varying capacities across the league, and from our standpoint, we want to invite our fans in if we can only do so safely, and we can do so with the full support of local officials. As the season starts, 6 teams have said they will have fans in the stands. They said that they will have fans in the stands. Oh, okay. Including the Chiefs and Dallas Cowboys. Others, like the Chicago Bears and Las Vegas Raiders, have shuttered stadiums for the entire season. Vegas has to pay for that brand new stadium somehow. And if they're going to be protesting and fans are going to be turning out in droves, which, I don't know, Stevie Wonder can see coming. That mortgage just got a few fucking years longer. And in case you don't know, Soldier Field is outside. Okay. Most are taking a week-to-week approach, leaving the door open for possible partial returns of spectators if or when conditions permit. You know, I could read the rest of this cancer, but the NFL is heading to the ground. They aren't heeding the warnings already presented by the NBA and the MLB. And it's going to be a spectacular crash. And I look forward to them scrambling to clutch on to whatever ratings that they're going to be getting. I'm watching them slip between their hands because, hey, you get woke, you go broke. Anyways, guys, that's just my preamble before the season starts, and I'll be tertiary checking in on the NFL season as it goes. I couldn't be asked to watch a game of NFL lately because if anybody's actually sat down in real time and wanted to watch a game that they want to watch, it's impossible with all the commercial breaks. I can't stand it. But that's just me. That's my opinion. And hopefully that's why you tune in. And hopefully that's why, if you do enjoy it, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Or also, if you want to drop a like, it does you zero inconvenience and it does me a ton. And if you'd like to discuss anything or this video in particular, head down into the comments. Drop something there. I'll interact with you. Don't worry about it. Or you can follow me on Parler or Twitter if you feel so inclined as well. I'm always monitoring those. Anyways, guys, that's enough for today. I've been Don Consuela. I want you guys to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.